2, 1.
To your right. Right side. Look to your right side, please. Timo, Jennifer, your right. To your right.
How about those smiles, Jennifer? Carly, this way, guys. There it is. Great shot.
To your right. To your right. Everyone looking to the right. To the right. Everyone looking to the right, please.
And those smiles right here, please. Jennifer, Sterling right there, guys.
To the right side, right side. Everybody.
Sterling, big smile, Sterling.
Straight ahead, straight ahead. Please look to your right side.
1, 2, 3.
Can you please try? Guys, right over here.
Walk it like it's hard. excited. You know, it's a big, fun action film. It has like a really nice tone to it where it's like it has humor, but it also has a lot of heart and incredible kind of like action in it. So I'm excited about it. You know, it was a really different type of exercise. I don't think I had ever done a whole entire movie like that on green screen. So it was a new experience for me. I think the movie does a really good job of kind of showing where it can be really great and where it could be really destructive. And I think what you want is like people to walk away and think like, okay, let's be careful. Let's respect this. Just like all new things and change in the world, you want to kind of respect it and make sure you're not like going, oh, it's going to be fine, and then it's not.
It was, well, I was fighting a 20-foot version of you.
Right.
So that was something.
That was hard.
We had to, you know, it's filmmaking, so we had to chop it up a bunch. But what I've really loved is hanging out. We got to hang out more after the movie wrap.
I know.
And it's been
true.
fun.
And it has been just kind of like promoting the film. It's like you get to know each other even better because, again,
Yeah.
doing it on green screen, it's like your little piece, my
Yeah.
little piece, you know, Sterling's little piece. So now we get to hang out and talk and actually get to know each other
Yeah.
even more than we did when we were filming.
Yeah, the 20-foot cardboard sculpture of Jen didn't quite have the same level of charisma. I think with Harlan's character, Harlan I think represents the worst case scenario for AI. I think he really takes like the wealth of knowledge that he accumulates and he's like, I'm gonna blow it all up. So probably that's
Let's start over.
Yeah. Let's start over. Let's
here's
just
the
raise the
plan.
ground and so it's probably not necessarily an optimistic view of AI, but I think it's an inevitable technology, right? I mean, we're looking at, you know, the ways that AI has already started to influence our lives. It's only going to get more. I think the movie's a bit of a cautionary tale of like, yeah, let's proceed with caution. With great power comes great responsibility, and don't give the AI the keys to the castle.
We already talked about
We've
this.
definitely talked about
we
it.
definitely said press.
Press and junkets.
And then we said
You could
working
be
out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, working out would be nice.
Yeah.
Cleaning. But the junk. I mean, you could be talking to two AI versions of us right now.
And you wouldn't even know
You
it.
wouldn't even know it.
You know what? It's just a fun-ass movie. Like, I mean, it's going to ask you questions about AI and sort of affect the way that you think about it, and hopefully in a cautionary, responsible way. But this is a popcorn flick that you can enjoy with your entire family. It's got a few thrills. Hopefully you spill the popcorn a couple of times. Hopefully you get a chance to yell at the screen and say, go get them, and just have a good-ass time. I told the crew before we shot, I said, hey guys, look, I gotta put this thing in my eye. It's not my favorite thing. Could we please just focus and knock this joint out as quickly as possible? So I had it in my eye for about 5-6 minutes. We got about 4 takes in, and we were able to move on. So I was thankful to my crew. When you're doing green screen, like a lot of it comes together in post. So most of it is just you screaming at nothing, acting like a crazy person, so you're happy to know that you don't look like a crazy person when they finally put the movie together. That's it. You spend a lot of time in isolation, so honestly, you don't have that much time to spend together, so you spend more time together actually doing the press. They're quality human beings. I enjoy them very much. If they could help with the morning routine and just getting the kids ready. I can get the breakfast ready, but like the point of like going in, making sure they wake up, go to get the breakfast ready, and then coming back and those little people are still laying down in bed, I would like the AI to make sure it's like, get your ass up. It's time to get started.
It's been 5 years of my life because we started pre-pandemic. So there was a lot of, here we go, shut down, here we go, shut down. So I'm very, very excited. For me, it goes back to just being a fan of movies. And so when I go to the theaters or I go anywhere to look what's new, like I'm one of those guys that'll scan all the trailers and posters. And I generally have this reaction of like, I've seen it, I've never seen it, I've seen it, I've never seen it. And I just wanted to make something that I didn't think was out there and that I'd never seen before. That's where it started. And then when I got the script and it was basically this like woman stuck inside of a mech suit on an alien planet, I was like, no one's ever seen this before. I don't know how we're gonna film this thing, but it had my attention right away, and I just wanted to make something that was super unique. My favorite stuff to shoot in the action was probably all the stuff at Harlan's compound near the end, but it was for a completely selfish reason. It was in a cement factory in Cupertino. So when you go and you shoot nights and you're on location, it sort of feels like camp, you know, in a way. Like it's just like a bunch of nerds and film people just going out and being like, all right, we're gonna blow stuff up, it's gonna be really fun. And so that for me was like really rewarding. And also like I was on a soundstage for so long, getting to go out to like a unique space and kind of feel it out, like it was just a really fun part of the process for me. I mean, it was a lot of Jen giving her the freedom to be the actor that she can be in that space. I completely changed my approach as a director to support her. I normally would shoot coverage like most directors would. On her, I never shot coverage inside of the suit. I put all the cameras on her at once so she could just do the scene like all the way top to bottom, and then we could just get the scene right. So it allowed her to be free. Also, I never gave her eye lines. You can look wherever you want. You can react in any way you want. And the second component of that was probably Greg as Smith. You know, they sent me a bunch of tapes, and it was just, can we have someone here to talk to Jen so she can play it live? There was no indication of like, oh, Greg will end up being Smith. When I heard Greg's voice, I was like, that's Smith. That's how I picture Smith. So as soon as I got him on set, I started directing him like he was going to be Smith. And as soon as I saw the first scene cut together, I knew as soon as everybody sees this, you're not going to be able to picture anybody else. And he really supported her through the process, so it was sort of perfect. But I think it's a little bit of, you know, allowing her to be the performer I know she can be and cover her in the best way possible, and then having Greg there so she can play, so it can just be fresh every single time. Those are probably the two biggest components. Yeah, I mean, I got really lucky. I said to people before, like, I had 3 movie stars. You know, Simu and Sterling are arguably movie stars. Now this was before, I would say this to people before he got his Academy Award nomination, because I would just say, like, I would go to set, and the difference between like an actor or like dummy like me standing here on a mark, you know, filling up space, is they change like superstars change the atmosphere. They change like molecules in the air. They suddenly like make the space theirs, and all 3 of those people do that. As soon as Sterling is there, you're like, oh wow. As soon as Simu shows up, you're like, oh wow. Like, they all have that thing that makes them special. So yeah, it was amazing. And I have to add, Sterling is the happiest person I've ever seen on set. If he had that microphone, he'd be telling jokes like he's doing stand-up, he'd be making everybody laugh. Like, that is what you want on set. You want that guy on set. So yeah, I felt really, really blessed. I really like the AI alarm clock I put in the movie. It's way nicer than my phone buzzing. If I had to have anything AI, I would also like my own mech suit, because I got to build fake one, but I'd love to have a real one that I could drive around in.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I mean, it's like, you know, a step into the future, which is at times a little scary. So, you know, it's action-packed, it's super suspenseful, she's great in it, and everyone's gonna love it. The fact that techno-sapiens are a thing, and it's like, you know, we're all moving toward that in technology, and it's all really exciting and also terrifying at the same time. So I think this movie will give everyone a glimpse into what the future can look like. It would probably be medicine, honest to God, anything health related, you know, to kind of like tap into that knowledge a little bit, but not to write like any speeches or anything for me. I feel like that's too big of a cheat. Yeah, I don't want to lose the art form of things, you know, but like anything medical or something like that, I feel like I would use it for those purposes. I mean, I think people are going to be a little bit more cautious in what they invest in, you know, because there's some scary stuff that happens here. And if we're not more mindful, that can happen to us. So that was part of the reason why I said yes to this film, is that I just love that it's like, it could potentially be a foresight into our future if we're not careful.
Ooh, it's been a long time coming, and I am stoked for audiences to see this film. It's a action-packed thrill ride, so to see it with an audience and to share it with audiences, I'm beyond excited. Yeah. That experience was, at first, well, I don't know if you guys know the story, but I was originally hired just to kind of like be an on-set reader for Jennifer. So I was there in support of her, and it just so happens that that's what my role is in the film as Smith, is that I am in full support of Atlas. My primary protocol is to keep my ranger alive. So yeah, it was an incredible experience to work with her and to work on this film in that role. We cultivated that connection on day one, like, you know, from word one that I spoke into her speakers inside the mech suit, inside the Arc 9 spacesuit. Like right from word one, I just kind of had to be like the operating system for her, and she had to kind of like push and pull with like, is this person here to help me, or is this thing like making it more difficult for me? And that like kind of buddy cop relationship developed, and then as things progress in the film, we start to trust each other a little bit more, and she starts to open up, and she realizes that I'm there for her. And I think that was Jennifer's sentiment early on, is that I'm just there for her in this performance. Yeah, well, I think it's important to know that like AI is here, and it is like among us day in and day out already. So I think what Brad does a really great job of is paint the picture that like, yeah, there's bad things that can happen with AI if it's in the wrong hands, but there's also really good things that can happen if we trust it and treat it with the, you know, respect and regard that it requires. So yeah, I think it's not all bad. Like it's not all fear. It's like there's hope in the future, but it's ultimately in our hands. Yeah. My taxes, just like day in, day out, do my taxes. End of the year, wrap it up, done. Here's all the expenses, here's everything. I made money, I didn't pay enough, just like, do it.
So incredibly excited. Jennifer Lopez is absolutely extraordinary in this movie. You've seen her do incredible work before, but she's doing something that we haven't seen her do, and her power and her humor and her vulnerability really comes through in this movie in a way that is exhilarating.
I think because it's got a little something for everybody. It's got a little bit of action, it's got a little comedy, it's essentially a female empowerment movie dressed up as a science fiction survival movie. You don't see those very often. It felt like a really big opportunity to find a really big audience, and she really is. Jen is extraordinary in the movie.
I think that the movie is really talking about how technology can be incredibly scary, but there might be a path to finding some kind of moderation or some sort of capacity that humans and AI can find the ability to soar rather than be brought down by AI.
Yeah, I mean, the movie is about AI is not going anywhere, so how do we find a common ground where we can make this work for all parties and use it as a tool to further humanity?
The process was, you know, the impetus of the whole project was I was kind of hit with an image of sort of a Castaway Robinson Crusoe idea, but with a sci-fi twist. That was sort of the original impetus of the project. And I write a lot of sci-fi, and I love those survival films like The Revenant, and again, Castaway. So I'm like, it'd be cool if we could give it a sci-fi twist. From there, I started kind of building it into, okay, well, if it's sci-fi, she's stranded on another planet instead of some marooned island. And once I put her on another planet, I was like, how is she gonna survive in a hospitable planet? I'm like, let's give her a really cool suit, a battle suit, a mech suit. And that was really where it sort of originated. And the suit had its own AI, it had its voice. That was her only sort of contact, kind of like Wilson's character in Castaway. And so she was talking to the AI the whole time. That was the only thing keeping her sane. She had to learn from the AI, just like the AI would learn from her. And that was really the impetus, and I wrote that. And then once that sort of idea got to Brad and Netflix and Jennifer and all them, they really just elevated the whole thing into this amazing, very timely idea of the AI, the villains also being AI, and her being sort of a Luddite and afraid of technology, not wanting to engage with technology, and sort of it all kind of like wrapped and weaved itself together where human and AI together can be stronger with just against AI. And so I think it's very timely. So they added all that and just really built this massive project. Very controversial. I know it's we're all trying to figure out where it's gonna go. I personally do think that just like anything else in the last, 200 years, the Industrial Revolution and everything that came around, sure it's gonna shake things up a lot, but I do think that humans don't give themselves enough credit. I think we're smart enough to be able to use it as tools and use it to our benefit, and I think it is gonna help us. Of course there are gonna be some drawbacks, but I think with AI we're gonna really kind of take a leap forward as a species, and so I think the future does look bright with it. Laundry and ironing, yes, those. Any of those little mundane things, please. Groceries, yes. You know, Jennifer is, I've been a fan of her for the last 30 years. And, you know, Brad actually made a great point. Her background as a solo performer, I think really spilled into this performance of being able to be on stage, perform solo, because the majority of the film, she's stuck inside of a mech suit, camera's on her, and that's got to really resonate. And when I heard that Jennifer Lopez got cast, and she can do everything. She can really do everything. She brings the intensity that I think Atlas really needed, but also that that vulnerability. That okay, you're stranded on a planet. How terrifying is that? So I was just over the moon when I found out. And as Simu, I'm just a huge fan of Simu's. Shang-Chi, I'm a martial arts fan. Been a martial arts fan. So when Simu got casted, I'm like, dream cast. And then Sterling, most charming man in the world. So amazing, yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get to be part of some original sci-fi and to be part of an amazing cast, amazing crew, amazing creative and productive team. I'm excited to debut the film and let the world see it. Well, I think something that's unique about the film in this day and age is that it's an original story. It's not based on any IP. So, the producers and Netflix, they all took a chance on a new thing and to invite audiences into a new world and new characters. So that, first of all, is the thing I'm most excited about. But, AI is a topic of discussion right now, and it's important for us to figure out how we're going to use it. It's coming whether we like it or not. I mean, it's already here. So I think it'll be interesting to see the pros and cons and seeing what side the audience feel they sit on. How to get... In the US, you guys have the top sheet. We don't have that where I'm from, and I don't understand it. So if I get some AI to figure out how to get it tight, like they have in the hotels, that'll be perfect.